ಗುರುದೇವಾಯ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಗುರುದೇವಾಯ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಹೇ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಹೇ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಗುರುದೇವಾಯ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಮಹೇಶ್ವರ ರೂಪ ತ್ರಿಮೂರ್ತಿ ರೂಪ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ತ್ರಿಗುಣಾತೀತ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಆನಂದ ರೂಪ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಹೇ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಗುರುದೇವಾಯ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಭಾವಾತೀತ ಭಾಗ್ಯವಿದಾತ ಭವಭಯಹರಣ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ತ್ರಿಲೋಕನಾಥ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಚಿನ್ಮಯ ರೂಪ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಹೇ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಗುರುದೇವಾಯ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಗುರುದೇವಾಯ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनस्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वहम्। In this text of Dhyana Swaroopam, so far we have seen that meditation is not a particular action. It is not any ritual, it is not any upasana or any other activity. It's not even chanting the name of the Lord like a japa. For all of them can be categorized as only some form of activity only. One can be a physical activity, psychological. Therefore, the nature of meditation is abiding in one's own being. Swaroopam Satchidanandam, one who understands my nature as Sat Chit and Ananda. Sadatishtan Yogi, a person who is ever remaining there. Swarupenaiva na anyatha, in one's own self and not anything else. This is for us very difficult to comprehend, because we do not see any such person around us. We are so unfortunate that this possibility of existing, remaining in one's own nature blissfully, joyfully, and fully content, such a person we have not seen. I had the opportunity to see our own Pujya Gurudev, who demonstrated this self-abidance, remaining in one's own being. But unlike others who have remained aloof and in solitude, but he very much was present among people, very busily doing work. That is a great inspiration. People go to this Mahakumbha Abhishek and all those things to see such Mahatmas who come once in a while only outside. Once in 12 years or so, such yogis who come out to the world, to be part of the world, just to give blessings to others, and a large number of people who go there to see them. But such a man in action usually is misunderstood. For if one is self-abiding, fully enjoying in one's own being, what is the purpose for him to act at all in this world? So the simple answer is, it is to inspire others and to demonstrate it is possible. A man of such self-abidance, he does every action out of love, out of compassion, in the form of a seva, service, and therefore, to have darshan of such an individual is also very great fortune. We have not seen Shankaracharya, who demonstrated the same thing almost 1200 years back. That parampara, that nature of this, remaining in the nature of one's own self and still working in this world, that parampara, that tradition, even now continues. So, in this verse that we have seen, in verse number 7, we are constantly busy in this world. Kriya Shila Sada Jivaha Statum Shaknoti Na Atmani. A person who is, all of us, so busy working in this world, Kriya Shila Sada Jivaha, individual self we are, associated with our own body, mind and intellect. Atmani Statum Na Shaknoti. To remain in oneself is not possible. because our mind is so restless, agitated. Therefore, as an exclusive practice of meditation, it becomes essential. Akarmadas tata prokta. Therefore, it is prescribed that a meditation one should remain actionless. Vidit dhyanasya yogibihi, as the rule for those who want to meditate. What is the rule of meditation? Don't do an action, any action. So you can remain physically inactive, but mind is not going to be this. Mind will remain constantly, restlessly engaging in the world. So therefore here, akarma, not engaging in the world. Just like in the state of deep sleep, an individual consciously or unconsciously withdraws oneself from the world. Here in the practice of meditation, one should do it consciously. Don't unconsciously meditate. That is called sleep. How much every day I am doing it? No, that is called sleep. Consciously, one should remain still and silent, disengaging from the world. Now many people ask this question, would it not make us unproductive in this world? No. Why? Because you are consciously doing it. Who is a lazy person? Lazy person is one who by nature doesn't do any action. But here you are an active person, you are consciously engaging in state of inaction only to discover what is beyond my physical, psychological existence. So out of this real curiosity to know who you are really, you are engaging in that practice of meditation. Once you have recognized that higher nature of yourself, thereafter, even when you are engaging busily in this world, you will not lose that attention. Just like a singer who is singing, in the beginning, he may tune himself according to the background music. Thereafter, while he is singing, his part of his mind is constantly tuning to that. In the same way, a person who has thus tuned himself to the higher nature, the blissful, joyful, beginningless, endless, timeless presence, he thereafter, even if he is engaging in this world, he will not lose that attention. Other words, he has a choice to act or not to act. We don't have that. We are forcefully, compulsively being pushed to action because of the compulsive nature of our senses, the mind, the thoughts and emotions and everything. So you act choicefully. You act with freedom. You act with joy. Not compulsively, not because it has to be done. You do it with a great joy of accomplishing what you need to accomplish, but nothing to gain out of it. So, in the next verse he says, verse number 8, Kriya Rupa Pratiyeta Tatapi na Kriya Vidihi Samyamena Hyupadinam Lupta Santi Cha Tat Kriyaha. Kriya Rupa Pratiyeta. It appears to be a set of instruction to be done. Tatapi, even then, not Kriya Vidihi. It is not any activity. Upadinam Sanyamena, by withdrawal of the senses, Tat Kriyaha Lupta Sandhi. Their activities come to an end. So here, We are not controlling, conditioning the senses. People often ask me, what is the way to control the mind? I say, you cannot control the mind. Why? Because the one which wants to control is the mind itself. Think about it. What wants to control what? The mind itself, assuming the role of another, trying to control itself. It's going to be fooling itself only. As Ramana Maharshi would give a beautiful example of, I might have told you this earlier also. The small village did not have any police station. But there was nothing wrong, no crime was taking place in that small village. But then government want to do something, when the election comes, they have to do something. So the minister or MLA came to that area, said, I am going to establish a police station in this village as a part of my tenure. During my tenure, I want to make sure that there is a police station. So then people said, well, there is no need. Why? Because there is no crime here. No. You may not know. Tomorrow there will be some crime. So at that time you should not, be deprived of. Well, I will have a police station. Okay. Only one police. Whole station is for him only. Fine. Then after the police station is established, within a few weeks, one cow was disturbed, stolen from some house, some money was stolen from somebody's house, something has disappeared. The people started thinking, see, until then there was no thief. Now police station has come, there is no thieves are also become active. That's what your computer also does, you know that. The moment you put your, what you call security, what do you call that, virus security or whatever, more virus attack will come. Because they are attracted to this security. And you may not know that very software which is for security of the virus control itself is creating its own, make you feel that it is being protected. Same thing. This police who was appointed is a Pakka thief. He himself started, for whatever reason, may make him feel that, see, I am protecting you. So people went to him and said, you see, suddenly we have seen a lot of theft is taking place. What do you plan to do? Oh no, we will catch the thief, definitely. Now tell me, will the thief ever be caught by the police? Will the thief ever be caught by the police or not? Because the thief and the police are not two different people. The thief itself is the police itself is the thief. So, how will he catch it? In the same way, the mind, which is the problem of ourselves, because it has all the tendencies, memories and desires and other things, how can it be controlled by the mind? It is just a foolishness. So people have positive thinking, negative thinking, controlling. It's all temporary measures. One fellow wrote a book, 100 Ways to Become Rich. And he was seen begging in the road. Somebody asked him, why are you begging? You wrote a book for 100 ways to become rich. Why are you begging? He says, this is one of them. In the same way, the mind which is itself is the culprit. How can it become the victim? You cannot. So, any activity, physical or mental, is, take it in the right sense, is a disturbance in meditation. When you are trying to sleep, when there is a lot of sound or some other disturbance, you try to go and stop that. before you want to go to sleep, because that is causing you not to sleep. Once the disturbance is removed, you don't need to do anything. The mind, because of its very tiredness or whatever, it will just go to sleep. But here it is not out of tiredness or exhaustion that you come out, you sit in meditation to withdraw. Consciously, all activities related to the senses have to be brought to an end. And to make the sense organs quiet, you need the help of the mind. Indriyani paranyahu indriyebhya param manah manasastu para buddhihi yo buddhe paratastu saha. Sense objects outside the world, in this, objects outside, cannot disturb the senses unless the senses are weak. Correct? Senses are weak, then sense objects will become very attractive. You want to gratify your senses, you go for them and then enjoy a relation, indulge. So sense objects of the world do not have their power. They are powerful only when your sense organs are weak. Indriyebhya param manah. Mind is greater than the senses, and if the mind is weak, sense organs become powerful. Your thought is strong, your sense organs will be under control. Your thoughts are strong, the strong decisive thoughts called buddhi. So, from the standpoint of determination, of decisiveness, you understand that activities of the senses, indulgences, etc. are waste of time at this point. So, I can just let them go, not to engage in them. So, it is disengagement, that is what is called control, not holding them back in captivity. And that is possible only when yo buddhe paratastu saha, buddhehe paraha saha. You recognize the higher nature of your own self, then all of them are under control. So this recognition of higher nature, Satchidananda, is not an activity. Now when I am talking to you, I say, now pay attention to silence. What you should do? You should do anything. Just now don't listen to me. To become aware of the silence, you don't need to do any physical activity. You just have to shift your attention. In the same way, when I shift my attention to the self, which I am, then the activities of the senses and the body, mind, etc., everything is under control. That is called Sanyamanam. Sayyamena upadinam lupta santi tatkriyaha. Now you are sitting there. Do you feel like eating something? You have had your breakfast and came, right? So you don't, because presently you are occupied with listening to me. Then all other things are left behind. In the same way, when you are able to pay attention to the higher self, then naturally everything will stop their activities. That is the practice. Even though it looks like an activity, it is not an activity. Kriya rupe rupa pratiyeta. Even though it looks like an activity, tata vinacha tat kriyaha, tata vina kriya vidihi, even then it is not an action. So a yogi is sitting in quietude, quietly sitting in solitude state. He is not engaging in any activity. It does not mean he is sleeping, lazy, doing nothing. No. He is engaging in a very deep and subtle activity of paying attention to the higher self which one really is, while withdrawing from all other activities which are of the senses. And at the same time, one is not tired or exhausted. Therefore, the individual remains in that nature of pure existence, consciousness and bliss, recognizing that as one's own nature, as a joyful presence. That is the method of meditation. It is by practice alone one comes to become master of that. Because it is not any mere fantastic concept. It is not an intellectual concept or an idea. It is something which one has to truly engage to find how that is so blissful and joyful. As Guruji quotes here, remaining identified with the senses, we are constantly victimized by the world. Paranchikani vidranat swayambhu tasmat parang pashyadinantaratma. Because the sense organs are designed to go out, we are always extrovert. Kaschidiraha pratyagatmanamaikshat avruddha chakshuhu amradatvamichan. A person who likes to go deep within to see what is beyond turns his attention away from them and remains one with the self. So, when it comes to meditation, they teach you, okay, sit in a particular asana. Asana means a posture. Posture where you are able to remain unmoved for a long period of time. Why the particular asanas or postures in yoga also are prescribed? Because in certain postures the body becomes well balanced. Many of the houses when I go, actually there is no place to sit down at all. Only on a chair, couch potato. Every chair looks, what's like a beach chair. Nowadays that has become a fashion to lie down like this. Watching TV also. So the physical body does not have a support of its own. When you sit down in Padmasana or Sukhasana, etc., the physical body has gained the ability to remain balanced for a long period of time without any pain or a strain to the body. So here in the next verse he says, Asanena gatir lupta yadendriya kriyastada tadatma cha swayam bhati satta rupaschidatmatah. In Sanskrit, sad is to sit. Asadam, asanam means asidati. Sad sidati. So, asana means where a perfect posture, that is called asana. Samanta. So, asana, when you say a posture where there is no strain to the body, that is called asana. The sat word is used in many different ways. Prasada, when you say, mind has become quiet. Prasada. So prasada is a state of mind where it is no more disturbed by anything. That is also coming from the same root, sat sidati, to remain, to be quiet. So asana, when you say, it is a posture of perfection where there is no more strain to the body, it remains balanced. So we use seat also as asana. Asana lelo. It's not a physical seat, it is sitting posture. Anyway, asanena gatir lupta. Gatihi, movement, lupta is controlled or stopped. By giving a particular posture to the body, physical movement is stopped. Then, yatendriya kriyastata. Then the movement of the senses also to be stopped. So here, when you say The movement of the senses, what we mean by that is engagement of the senses in the world. Because sense organs don't run around like body. They travel through the mind. When I see a beautiful flower, it is not my eyes are going to the flower, it is my mind is going to the flower. Correct? When I smell something, it is not the nose is going there, it is my mind is going through the nose towards that. When I hear a sound, it is not the ear is going there, it is the mind which is going through the ear towards the sound. So also with the tongue and the skin, etc. So when you say control or stopping of the senses, mind withdrawing from that activity. So for that reason you don't need to close your eyes. But it is better to do that. If you can withdraw the mind from seeing, then even if the eyes are open, you don't want to care. It doesn't matter. Just like many of the husbands, when the wife says something, they withdraw from their ears. So whatever she says also, they don't even listen. So that is why it is said, a woman is always worried about what the man will forget. I didn't say it is Albert Einstein has said. Woman is always worried about what the man will forget. And man is always worried about what the woman will remember. What a profound statement. So, when you are saying withdrawal, what we mean by that? Mind is not engaged in that particular activity. Eyes are open, not seeing. Ears are open, not listening. Nose is there, but now you are not close to the nose, but not smelling. So, skin is there, but you are not feeling it. Tongue is there, but you are not tasting it. Meaning, the mind has decided to not to travel with the senses. This is a practice. So, in solitude, a person remains unmoved in a posture while the sense organs, activities of the sense organs are withdrawn by mind not engaging or carrying or moving through the senses. So that is what is called yatendriya kriya tada. Tadatma cha swayam bhati. When one has thus physically has stopped the movement of the body and mind has withdrawn, not traveling with the senses, what remains is the self. Tadatma swayam bhati. Then the self shines on its own account. Satta rupaschitatmakaha. In the nature of satta, as pure existence, chit atmakaha, of the nature of pure awareness. As pure existence and consciousness, that self will reveal on its own. So this is, we are looking very simple. It is simple, all right, but we have to overcome the habits. It may happen with few seconds of practice. I mean, practice with a few seconds, one may get a glimpse of the pure existence and consciousness and bliss within oneself, but it will not remain long because our tendencies, vasanas, will push us again out. Our earlier tendencies, our habits, everything will push us out again. So one has to constantly practice this, remaining physically quiet, withdrawing the senses, and even the thought that I am sitting here meditating, even that has to come to an end. So this practice is what is referred as practice of meditation. The purpose of this practice is to discover one's own self. Presently, the self is so and so, an individual. But the nature of one's own self in its own nature is immaculate, one without a second. Knowing which or realizing which one knows that I myself is in all people, all beings. All living beings are nothing but my own self. All other activities that are going on with respect to an individual is because of the identification with all other things. The ability to thus withdraw comes only when there is vairagya, a certain amount of dispassion and purity of mind, and eagerness to know the self. If dispassion is not there, then one will not take even interest to do this, number one. Secondly, if purity is not there, it is very hard to make the senses quiet. If the intensity of desire to know is not there, one says it's boring. So people ask Swamiji, will meditation make me more beautiful? Will the meditation make me know and read others' mind? Will meditation make me will it give promotion in my work? So we only seek for external, material, objective goals to accomplish, even by performing or practicing meditation. So the masters and rishis say this is not for that purpose. Meditation is not meant for the purpose of gaining anything of the world, but you will get the world which nobody can enter. A world which is far beyond this world. So an ability, intention to gain that state of consciousness, that plane of consciousness is what is the purpose of that meditation. To know one's own self. That is why it is said, Tadatma cha swayam bhati. Why swayam bhati? It shines by itself. It is like a lamp which is lit. To know that lamp, you don't need another lamp. Yada deepo na deepa anya icha. Anya deepa icha nasti. There is no need for another lamp to know the existence of the lamp, is it not? A lamp which is lit, to see that lamp. Do you need anything else? It is itself self-shining. Swayam bhati. In the same way, the self reveals itself. So, people ask this question, Swamiji, knowing the self is another thought? So, it's not another thought. But all thoughts are known because of its presence only. When you have gone to sleep and then when you wake up in the morning, first question you ask this is, first thing that you understand really is, I slept well, fine. The next question you should ask is, what was there before? Before I woke up, what was I doing? Before I woke up, what was the thought? Or even try to think about last thoughted. Our Gurudev used to say, last thoughted. Can you remember? The last thought before you went to sleep. You remember? You cannot remember because to remember a thought, there is another thought required. Where a thought has withdrawn, there is no more thought at all, and then when you wake up, you cannot remember that. Why? Because there was no previous thought to remember. So, thoughts are known through the self. Known through the self means the existence of the thoughts are known through the self. When self alone is there, it's not a thought. So, you cannot understand your own self as another thought. A thought can be replaced by another one. But this consciousness is swayam bhati. It shines by itself. To know itself, you don't need anything else. Just like the lamp To see the lamp, you don't need another lamp. To know the self, you don't need another thought. That is the reason why that indescribable presence the teacher is trying to describe, which he fails. I cannot explain to you because it is not a description in the form of any thoughts, any form of thought. Therefore, you have to go by yourself. It is all by yourself a journey. Go there, and once you reach there, you understand what I am saying. Tadatma cha swayam vadi satta rupaschidatmakaha. Just like an existence of an object is known only when there is awareness, similarly, this self is that it exists and it itself is awareness. Sattaya hi chit chittaya. Its existence is known by itself without any aid for anything else. It itself is Sat, existence. It itself is Chit. It itself is awareness. Thus, this beautiful book is almost coming to an end. So, here the last verse he says, Vijnanam yena vai rupam Nijam shantam sukatmakam Sarvata vartamanopi Jagat yasmin badyate. So ultimately, all this what we have been practicing should lead to some result which is not temporary. If it is again giving us only a temporary result, then we will not like to put so much effort into this. That's why he says, Yena, by whom, Nijam Shantam Sukatmakam Vijnatam is known. What? Rupam, one's own nature. Nijam Rupam, one's own nature. Shantam, peace, peaceful. Sukatmakam, blissful. He who knows his own nature, which is blissful and peaceful, Sarvada Vartamanaha api, even though he engages in this world, Jagadi asmin na badyate. He will not be bound in the world. He will act in this world as you and I would do, but never creates a bondage for himself. For us, every action creates a bondage. Two ways. I'll tell you one. One, when you do an action, it has a result. And the moment you own the result, you have to come back to experience it. Whether it's a good action or a bad action. Any action that is performed will have a result, and result will go to the person who performed. If that result is not coming in this life, definitely the result will come back to you, and for that you have to come back. Therefore, you are bound again. Or, if the result is coming in this life itself, you feel like doing it again and again. You are bound again. So, a result of an action, when you are identified with, if it is happening in this life itself, you feel like repeating it again and again and again and again, strengthening your vasanas. Or if it is not in this life, definitely you have to come back. Asmin badyate, he will not be bound in this world because he acts from the higher nature. Seeking nothing from his action. No result, even any result that comes, he says, not for me. I do my action for the welfare or for the benefit of all others, but the result is not mine. I will not own the result. Thus, withdrawing from identification with the self, an individual is not bound. That's why Krishna says very clearly, Tyagat Shanti Anantaram. Sarvakarma Palatyagaha. Shreya. Dhyana Shreya. In 12th chapter he says, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. than mere practice. Knowing and practicing is better. Jnana dhyanam vishishyate. Meditating is better than knowing. Just knowing is not sufficient. You have to practice meditation. Then practice of meditation, he says, dhyana karma phalatyaga. If you have become a man of meditation, there is an immediate result is you don't own results of anything. Tyagat shanti anantara. Because of the result being renounced, the peace is forever. So that's why he says, sarvada vartamanaha api, even though the individual engages in this world, jagati asmin nabadyate, he is not bound by the world. So as a husband, as a wife, as a parent, as a brother, as a sister, as a professional, one can engage in this world, and the strength of tyaga, strength of able to giving up, that comes in meditation. Because if a person just withdraws or gives up, there can be two reasons. One, the result is not favorable. Or the result that he is giving up is going to be fearsome. That is going to cause fear. That's going to cause a certain amount of uncertainty. Therefore he gives up. The fear can be out of, the giving up can be out of the fact that he doesn't like it. Oh, that's what the grapes are sour, because I didn't get it. That is also possible. Or really it is sour. Two possibilities are there. I don't want to become a president of this country. Right? I gave up. You can't. So you are giving up your president of this country is not a big thing, because you are not even qualified for that. So one can give up because he has tried and he could not get it. Or he is afraid that the result is not going to be giving him any happiness. That's why I do not know how it happens. Every Sunday we find a box full of unclaimed things. Never claimed. Shoes, slippers, coats. And I wonder how became, out of listening to Vedanta, they become so renunciate. Give up everything and go. But the fact is, when I take it, it's all torn inside. Or it is, somewhere they want to discard it. Some people come and give us all the, murtis of all the Shiva and small things. Why? I think we have accumulated too much Swamiji, that's why we give it to you. They easily give up all the murtis of the Lord. Ask them to give up their own, newly bought dress or shoes or anything. No. What you don't like, you give up. What you have no use to, you give up. Or you cannot achieve, therefore you give up. That tyaga is not considered as tyaga. Tyaga is that which is your own result, which is definitely useful to you, favorable to you, you can achieve. Yet, you say, no, I don't want it. Because having found that higher one, Vijnadam yena vai rupam, by whom that is recognized, realized, and of what not nature is that? Sukhatmakam, Shantam. Having realized that peaceful, joyful nature, anything else is in front of it, it's tuchhameva, useless. It is said that one young man, he was very frustrated in his life because of his financial difficulties and other things. He was not able to pay his debts. He has accumulated so much. So he decided to end his life. And his girlfriend also left him. So he decided to go and jump out of a cliff. So as he was going towards the cliff there, very frustrated, heavy-hearted, going there depressed. And he suddenly saw under a tree a saint sitting there quietly, calmly, smilingly. So he looked at him And he thought himself, I wish I could sit like that, but I can't. The editors and other people will be behind me. What can I do? Anyway, he started going towards the cliff. Almost he reached there. Suddenly there was one stop. Looked around. Nobody else is there except that one. Did you call me? Yes. Why? Come here. So he went next to him. Yes, what are you going to advise me at the last time of my life? Last moment of my life. Why are you ending your life? Why do you plan to end your life? I have a lot of debts and then I cannot pay, and therefore I think it's better that I end my life. You have financial trouble. Is that your issue? Yes. And because of which I have all the emotional problem and all those things. Okay. See that there? What? There's a stone. Small stone. See that stone? Yes. It's sitting in a slush. Take that. You mean to say I should take it and hit myself with that? No, just take it. Okay. He took it in his hand. So it's dirty. Okay. Take that and rub it against the other stone. I don't want any fire to be created. I am ready to end my life. Why are you asking me to do all these things? No, I'm just telling you. Do that. So he took that, reluctantly went there, rubbed against the other stone. Lo and behold, it became gold. The stone on which he was rubbing on, that became gold. You couldn't believe it. It became gold? Yes. You must be kidding. No. So if I rub with the stone anything, it becomes gold? Yes. He went another stone, rubbed it, and that became gold. What is it? This is called parasman. You know, a peculiar stone which is used to, when you rub against anything, it becomes gold. That boy was so overjoyed. He went on rubbing so many, they all became gold. He collected all of them. Oh my God. OMG, wow. I got gold and I can pay off all my people. Oh, and my wife, my girlfriend also will come back. He was so happy. He took that and then he started, thank you. Hey, what a grace that I met you. He was so overjoyed. Dancingly he started going with this stone in his hand, and he went some, say, 500 feet away, and then the sadhu, the saint, closed his eyes and sat in meditation. The fellow went 500 or 600 feet away from him, and he stopped. He put all of them down except the stone. He came back, sat in front of him. So listening, hearing some sound, again the saint opened. He says, yes, now what? Your problem is not solved. You solved my problem, all right. Yes, then what's now? Tell me. What is there to tell? You tell me. What is that you want me to tell? You tell me what made you give up this. What made you give up this stone which can bring you so much of wealth? What made you give up this? So the saint said, I don't need to tell you, and you won't understand. No, I want to know, what is that which made you give up this, which can create so much wealth? And he threw it in the slush. Now, I have also thrown it. Now, you tell me. So, the teacher said, that which is beyond the material wealth and joy and pleasure, the immense wealth that is there within you, knowing which you don't need anyone of this. Shantam sukhatmakam yena vai rupam vijnana. He who has thus discovered the endless wealth within oneself, which is of the nature of supreme bliss and joy, peaceful, you don't thereafter seek anything from outside. This looks like an hypothesis, But it is not a mere dream of a lotus eaters. It is a fact many great masters have lived and demonstrated. So therefore here he says, even such a person available in this world, sarvada vartamana api, even though he is there in this world, jagat tasmin navadyate, is not bound by the world. What is world after all? What we create as our own relationship. That is our world. What is your world? Your world is your relatives, your relationships, your needs, your demands, your goals, your accomplishments, your desires, your likes, your dislikes. That is your world. And my world is the same way. My prejudice, my thoughts, my emotions, my feelings, my bondage, my relationship. Once in a while we come to meet with each other. But your world is totally different from my world. We may live in the same physical world, but the experiential world of yours is different from my experiential world. So, in this world of where you and I live, such an individual who has withdrawn his attachments and needs and demands of every kind, he is not bound at all. Jagat yasmin navadyate sarvada vartamana, even though he acts like anybody else. So that's this simple text with only 10 verses has given us glimpse into the nature of meditation. So as we have seen so far, this meditation is not a particular activity. It is not any japa ritual. It is to discover our real nature as such, anand, pure existence, consciousness and the bliss. As I said, everything exists, but only me or every living being knows one's own existence, and because of which existence of everything else. That is called awareness, chit. And when I exclusively realize the chit, what I experience is anand. That is what is termed as God. That God is nothing but external manifestation of the inner truth. Because we do not believe unless we see it, therefore the external manifestation takes place. People want everything to be objectified. Therefore, religion is objectifying the subject. Otherwise, the subject cannot be recognized or known. Upanishads talk about the subject exclusively. Religion makes it as an objective reality. To make the people interested in it. So that's the idea here, is to recognize the subject as the pure self, existence, consciousness, bliss, for which I must do something which otherwise I would be not doing. Meaning, engaging in the world, I will be in the objective world only. The subject is forgotten. So therefore, withdrawal from this world is exclusive practice to be done. Even though it looks like another activity, it is not an activity. It is ending all activities. Kriya ruga pratiyeda tadabhina chatatriya. It is not an activity. So that's when withdrawn from the world, and when exclusively, when you remain steadfast in oneself, the self reveals on its own nature. Swayam bhati atma sattaru paschidātmakaha. That is the nature of this beautiful text. We will read the first verse again to make sure that we have understood this text properly. Then I will give you one small exercise that we have to do in your home. Dhyanam nama Swaroopasya Sahajam Banamuchyate Naidat karma vishesham va Sagunopasanam japaha. Effortless abidance in one's own self is what is called meditation. Now, as a real practice, what you should do is, when you go home, take a sheet of paper. Alright? Let us begin with where we can easily start this practice. Take a sheet of paper and a pen. Write Om Namah Shivaya or any other name of the God. Don't write your husband or wife's name or something. Om Namah Shivaya. Just for an example. When you are doing it, chant in your mind. This is preparing for the meditation. So Om in English or whichever language you are familiar with. Om Namah Shivaya. Right. With your mind chanting, write that. I am telling you, that itself is you will find it very difficult. Write for 5 minutes. Think about nothing else. 5 minutes of writing only that. Chant, write, chant, write, chant, write. While writing, keep chanting and looking only at that. This can be given as a practice to your children also. Okay, this is first 5 minutes of practice. After doing that, again, write the name of the Lord, Om Namah Shivaya, while breathing in. And stop writing and breathe out, only chanting in your mind silently. Om Namah Shivaya in your mind. And then, with the closed eyes, release your breathing, chanting the name without writing. Again, engage in writing. Om Namah Shivaya, breathing in. Stop, breathe out, chanting in the mind. Om Namah Shivaya. And you will see reduction of thoughts. The purpose of this is, because the mind is so restless and moving around all the time, it has to be brought to quietude. So, second practice will bring down much more the movement of the thoughts. Third, in the paper behind that, write a beautiful, draw a beautiful flower. A rose flower or whatever, with a lot of petals, etc. Right? And having drawn that, look at that beautiful flower which is there in front of you, which you have drawn yourself. Watch your mind how much it is trying to describe that. Keep watching your mind how it is trying to describe that picture. Don't go and correct anything again. So I think one more leaf is fine here. No. Once you have drawn, keep the pen aside. Keep looking at it without engaging in acting or engaging in adding anything, additional anything. Watch that very flower picture which you have done, which you have drawn. So while watching the flower, see how many thoughts are going on in your mind. By this time, the mind will be relatively quiet. Slowly shift your attention from the flower to your eyes. Shift your attention from seeing the flower or the flower to the eyes which is seeing the flower. And slowly move the attention from the eyes to the thought of seeing it. From the thought of seeing it, remain as I am, awareness. So first the flower, from the flower to the eyes to the thought, thought to awareness. It may happen for few seconds you will be able to remain in that awareness, because again another thought would come, I think I am very quiet now. Again go back to the flower. Because the moment you start describing, you have moved out. Again look at the flower, from the flower to the eyes which are watching the flower, pay attention to the eyes. From the eyes, the thought of watching. From the thought of watching to I am. You naturally close your eyes because there's no need to keep your eyes open because you're not going to watch anything. But if you keep your eyes open also, it is not a problem. But usually an individual who has thus become quiet in his own mind, naturally keep the eyes closed. That's why when you are listening to music, mind has become so quiet, you close your eyes. Not that you are sleeping, but you want to be with yourself. Try this practice. It may take 5 to 10 or 15 minutes every day. This should be done early in the morning, where the mind has taken enough rest, physical body has taken enough rest, and then as the first activity of the day you try to do it. If you do at the end of the day, sure enough, you'll sleep. So when the mind has become relatively quiet without any thoughts, you may get the glimpse of your own being. Not for a long period of time, but very short, few seconds, few microseconds maybe. Then if you have time, repeat that practice of writing maybe. If your mind is too agitated, start writing. Then stop and watch on breathing, and then get into the shifting of attention, which we talked about, shifting the attention. This practice will help you to gain an inner awareness or inner insight, and how peaceful, joyful, quiet is your own self. Then thereafter, even if you engage in this world, then your disturbances will be relatively less. Unwanted thoughts will be out of your mind. You will know that what is to be thought of, what need not be dwelt in. You don't need to dwell in those things which you know is not no use to you, no significance to you. Just withdraw from that. So mind will become more productive, engaging in only those things which are important, which you can make a change. What you cannot change, what will not be of any use to you, don't engage in this. Naturally, you will withdraw from that. This is a simple practice which each one of you can do in your own home. You don't need any extra, guidance or anything for that. But when you do it regularly, you will find it very useful, extremely energizing, giving you a glimpse of peace. Alright? So what we do is, next week when we meet, 3rd of March when we meet, bring a paper and pen with you. And we are going to do as a group activity. Having completed this text, and then we can move on to the next one. But that is not the purpose of discussing such subjects. It should become subjective. So to make it your own practice, you can practice it as a group here, an activity. So next week when you come, please do not forget to bring a small pad with pen, so that we can do that collectively and see, and we can discuss on what issues that you have in this practice, how difficult or how easy, what are the other obstacles that you have in this practice. Then we can move on to the next level of practice. Alright? Good. Children are not here? Okay, we will take up a song.